Alrighty, Too Simple J here, man. Back at it again with another video. Shit, today we're gonna be reacting to why people stop watching The Walking Dead. I haven't stopped watching The Walking Dead. I just started rewatching it, so I don't understand what this video could be about. So we finna have to watch this shit because it's probably gonna be very controversial, at least on my behalf. Because I'm not gonna fuck with a lot of what they be saying, to be honest. Because I'm still watching the shit. So. And there's a new season on Netflix. I still haven't seen season 10 because, I'm not going to sit there and watch, episode by episode. That shit's hella annoying, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, sitting there watching and then watching an episode, then you got to wait and then watch the episode, you know what I'm saying? Like that, when they come out on TV. So I'm waiting for Netflix. But I'm rambling. So let's get right.
I pop out wearing black and red like I'm Itachi. They hate my ear like cotton swabs. Don't make it come slide on ya. Please don't think we like it on God. We can't.
When AMC's The Walking Dead first premiered on Halloween night in 2010, it felt as if.
And hold up. Yes, I know my eye looks fucked up. This shit looks crucial, bro. Fucking hurts too. But you got a goddamn sty or whatever the fuck that shit's called, bro. Shit hurts.
The world stopped turning and television lovers across the globe turned into zombies themselves, ones hungry for more episodes of the groundbreaking post-apocalyptic horror series. All anyone could chat about at the work water cooler was what crazy, amazing, or insane thing happened to Rick Grimes the night before. The gripping action of the series, adapted from the popular comic books by Robert Kirkman, helped turn The Walking Dead into a must-watch right alongside prestige programs like Breaking Bad and Mad Men.
Walking Dead is better than Breaking Bad still, no cap.
In the years since, however,
never watched Mad Men or whatever the fuck they just said.
Things have taken a drastic and disheartening turn.
Oh, no.
The show has never been an awards season darling, but now ratings have started to slip as viewers begin to tune out of the sheriff's latest undead dramas. So, what happened to make The Walking Dead lose favor with fans? Let's take a look, but as always, beware the spoilers. Squandered characters. The Walking Dead has had no shortage of characters come and go, but there have been an unfortunate amount of these newcomers who've walked away completely underdeveloped or been written out just as they got interesting. At the same time, there are also plenty of others.
Eugene's a bitch. I hate that nigga so bad. Regardless of anything decent he's ever done, fuck that nigga.
Who have been allowed to linger for way too long. Beth Green hung on long enough to become a bunch of different people and none all at once. She started out as a boring farm girl who didn't say much. Then she became a caretaker to a corpse, which made her only slightly interesting. But then she got saddled with Daryl as his new confidant/badass roadie pal. Soon after, she was depicted as some mini-master of espionage during her stint at the hospital, and let's just say the arc was far from linear. There's also the matter of Father Gabriel Stokes, the priest who seems to do little more than sit on a high horse and repeatedly backstab his brethren. He might have served a purpose in early seasons, but, like Beth, the writers seem to struggle with what to do with him. Then there.
See, I didn't have too much of a problem with Gabriel. He was a bitch, nigga. He was annoying, but I didn't have too much of a problem with him, to be honest. I kind of fucked with his vibe and the character that they had for him. And even this part that they're showing right here, this scene, I fucked with that Gabriel. He was dope.
There are characters who are interesting but get taken
Well, not dope. He was more creepy.
out far too soon, like T-Dog, Noah, and Dr. Denise.
They got rid of T-Dog too soon, and I know I'm pausing it a lot, but fuck. They got rid of T-Dog way too soon. Way too soon. That's my nigga T-Dog. Like, R.I.P. I don't give a fuck about the doctor bitch that's about to die. I know this scene. I don't give a fuck. They got rid of T-Dog too soon.
Their demises leave little impact on viewers because we haven't time to care about them.
And if you don't wake them up!
Meanwhile, the loss of those who've overstayed their welcome can bring a sense of relief rather than sadness. In other words, the show has had a hard time making fans even care about its most dramatic moments anymore, which means they've had to resort to cheap mind games to keep people interested. Getting whiplash. To help increase the show's hype, the series has intentionally tricked its audience in rather infuriating ways. In Season 6, the creatives crafted a plot purposely meant to trick everyone into believing that Glenn had been eaten alive by zombies. Using sneaky camera angles,
the first time I seen that, I thought that shit was so fucked up. I never thought that shit was cool once a day in my life. They whipped the fuck out my neck with that. I thought Glenn died for real.
And close-up shots, the show made it appear as though Glenn's guts really were getting pulled out of his body as he screamed in agony. In reality, though, it was a corpse whose insides were spilling everywhere and Glenn was just near it. After a few episodes, it was revealed that he easily escaped that brush with the Beyond. But the gotcha moment was seen as a cheap trick and part of a growing troupe of TV characters who've been killed off only to miraculously return within the span of a few episodes. The showrunners didn't learn their lesson there either. Something similar happened in the penultimate episode of Season 6 when Daryl is shot and blood speckles the screen. Of course, it was all just deliberate misdirection. Then, The Walking Dead pulled one over on viewers the very next episode by showing Negan smashing someone's skull in, but not revealing who it was.
When Negan smashed... I don't even want to talk about it.
Viewers were left to spend all summer debating who was on the receiving end based on the camera angles, the comics version of the scene, casting calls from the set, and more. And then when the answer was revealed, well, it was even crueler than anyone could have expected. Meeting Lucille. Fans familiar with Robert Kirkman's comics were equally excited and nervous about Negan's arrival at the tail end of Season 6. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was a spot-on casting choice, and his ability to sling four-letter words and his trusty barbed bat Lucille were second to none. But his arrival also meant that some fan-favorite characters were about to get the axe. And when the 7th season returned in the fall of 2016, that's exactly what happened. But even though fans were fully braced for carnage, well, the sight of it playing out on screen was still too much for some audiences to take. In addition to taking out fan-favorite Glenn Rhee, after having just given him a mulligan at life a few episodes before, Negan's bat also laid waste to fan-favorite Abraham as well. Both slain.
Whoa. Who the fuck said Abraham's a fan favorite? I did not fuck with that nigga. I thought that nigga was irritating the whole goddamn show, bro. I wanted that nigga gone. Well, when he died, it was kind of like, damn, because like he had started doing a little bit better and his character wasn't as fucking annoying, but regardless of anything, he was still fucking annoying.
Planes were built of equal brutality and disregard for the sensitivities of their friends and family or the audiences at home. Viewers who'd already been on the fence about sticking with the series used this opportunity to call it quits for good, citing the excess violence and dislike for Negan, among other complaints. For a show that was built on gore, this single scene seemed to be simply too much for its fan base to bear. And they were probably right to tune out at that point of Grimace, considering what would come next. Heart of Darkness. The Walking Dead has always hit hard with misery, gore, and all things grim. And that's to be expected from a series of its genre. Sliced up limbs, open wounds, decomposing corpses, blood, and guts are the stock stuff of a post-apocalyptic horror show. Violence and viscera are just the name of the game. But after Negan and his not-so-merry band of saviors came to town, The Walking Dead experienced a dramatic shift in tone. No longer did it feel like a cautionary tale, a series exploring the intricacies of existence and the darkness of human nature. It became something that takes pleasure in causing pain, transforming into physical and emotional torture. Sure, brutality can be brushed aside when it's justified and balanced with some beautiful moments, but when an already dark series zeroes in on just how sociopathic its central villain is, the cynical attitude and malevolent tone can be too much to take. Losing focus. One of the biggest problems with The Walking Dead now is that despite the show's title, there's very little focus on the undead anymore. Michonne's badass samurai slayings and shots of Daryl's innovative maiming tactics have been reduced significantly. Instead, the show spends an inordinate amount of time with the characters talking about their feelings and plans to take out other humans. In its infancy, the series was the pinnacle of what post-apocalyptic storytelling should look and feel like, and there was a clear central focus. Rick and the gang need to outsmart the zombies and survive long enough to see a world without them roaming about, and they would sacrifice things they love to accomplish that. Now the crew is almost exclusively threatened by insane human villains, and the premise that the show once held, fighting the titular Walking Dead, has all but vanished. Meanwhile, the show has also had a hard time keeping things fresh from season to season. In the beginning, the creatives weren't afraid to branch out and make up their own characters to spice things up. Consider the fact that Daryl and his brother Merle weren't even part of Robert Kirkman's comics, and yet they were among the most interesting characters to ever grace the show. Nowadays, though, the series seems to be simply cycling through the villains and major wars contained in the comics, and even those creative liberties they do take tend to be a bit formulaic. Most fans can probably predict what each will do and how each episode will play out. Rick Grimes will lead his people to some kind of temporary safety, but then all hell will break loose. Someone will get attacked or go haywire and pass away. The group will mourn and move on, but then the same thing will happen at their next hideout. Rinse and repeat. Fans can only be expected to endure that kind of repetition for so long. Tough competition. When The Walking Dead first debuted, it was one of a kind.
Okay, I can understand that. I can't even fucking speak. I can understand why they feel like that, for real. I can understand why they feel like that and put that into this video, because that is facts. That is facts. It is very repetitive. I'm fine with that.
And ushering in the zombie craze.
I'm cool with
Since
that.
then, though, even devout Walking Dead fans have turned to other programs to get their undead fill. Shows like the CW's iZombie and Sci-Fi's Z Nation are having a markedly better time because they've opted not to go too grim the way The Walking Dead has. Zombies are supposed to be at least a little fun when they're not completely frightening. But The Walking Dead has always been more about emotionally affecting drama than the more lighthearted or action-oriented entries in the genre. A better balance of moods could have gone a long way toward hanging on to the longtime fans who've stopped watching. But 8 seasons in, the show is as dark and dreary as it's ever been, and some fans have just had enough. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our...
Maybe some fans just don't understand that that's what zombies would really be like, nigga. That's just not gonna just be funny sometimes, bro. And the reality of it, nigga, you be getting eaten fucking alive and losing homies. So, shit. That's the end of the video. Shit, I stopped it right about on time anyway, so... Shit, that was why people stopped watching The Walking Dead. A lot of the reasons, I understand why someone would put in this video. Yes, I understand that. But in my opinions, those are not why I mean, I still watch it. So, like, you feel me? None of that has affected why I don't watch it. Because I fucking watch the show. So, the video was by Looper. If you want to watch the original video without my going over it, my reaction to it, you feel me? The fucking link will be down below, you feel me? And shit, yeah, if you guys like the video for me. Leave a comment down below, maybe on for another video y'all want me to react to or something like that. And as well as shit, hit that subscribe button, because I know you haven't done that yet. I lost too. I've been watching, so come on now, just hit that big hit that big red button for me, and you know, we'll get into the next video. I'll catch you later.
Never hidden leaf, got the pack on me, I'm about to roll. Waste Versace, they eye on me, Kakashi.